I want to taste. Let me taste that other one.
Fish flavor.
It's nasty.
I want to taste that other one.
Oh my God, I would never kiss nobody after that. Oh.
Well, I'm just gonna say I've eaten a lot worse in my days, so I'm just gonna let that.
Well, I'm just gonna say if they really love you, they would kiss you no matter what.
Right.
No. There's certain things. If I'm dating a girl, I tell her, listen, onions, peppers, I'm not kissing you after that. And garlic. I don't care what you look like. You got to go home and whatever, cleanse out all that. All right, we're gonna get back into our topics while we're eating all of our ghetto food. Again, we got oysters, sardines, clams, Vienna sausage, hummus.
Oh, you forgot the potty meat.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, I'm switching it up now. What y'all want to hear? We're about to turn up now. Now the alcohol's starting to kick in a little bit for me and Rob. We got our little buzz going. So now the gloves are off, the filters are down. We're gonna talk about dating. Oh, dating is like the main thing that everyone wants to talk about. Dating is crazy nowadays. It's so hard. It's so I don't know, man. It's like a clusterfuck. I'm sorry. Excuse my French, but okay, dating is just like you need a PhD now.
Don't do it.
You need a PhD to play the whole dating game now. People are saying one thing, doing another. They're saying they want this, but they respond more to this. Women now are trying to take on men roles as far as being players and saying, well, if a man can do this, I can do this. I'm a juggle men and play the field.
And the men are taking on the women role with these tight pants and these purses that they carry.
Why is dating so hard? Like, okay, what's your status right now? You don't have to like go into detail. Are you single? Are you involved? Are you talking to somebody? Like, what's up with you?
So I just ended a relationship on our 2-year anniversary.
Why?
Well,
I gotta turn up now, so I gotta ask. I need to know why. You need to scoot in a little bit closer.
We ended up starting a relationship off on what I thought was everything on the table. Clearly, spread like we got here, even the nasty stuff. Okay, so I laid all mine out, and I expected the same, and I assumed that I got it, because we delved into some things, but not far enough, and. Into this relationship, the original agreement was that we weren't dating just to be dating. We were dating with the purpose of marriage. That was the end goal. And
how did you meet him? Where'd you meet him at?
My brother actually introduced me to, well, not really introduced me. My brother hit me up one day. He's a Boilermaker. And said, hey, can I give your picture to this guy I work with? And I was like, no, absolutely not. No, you can't. I'm not ready. I'm not in the mood. He's like, oh, damn, too late. So he sent me the picture. I guess we started talking. I met him. He was nice. I mean, he treated me like a queen. He paid for things, took me out.
You said that right away.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing, and all of it was a lie. He was living a lifestyle on the side.
What do you mean, like what kind of lifestyle?
Just a different, like, a different type of sexual lifestyle that was
not. Was he bisexual?
I'm not really going to delve into that because anybody that watches this may know who I'm talking about, and I don't want to really spread personal information. But it was not. It was not conducive to my life and my ministry.
You had no clue, like you couldn't tell like certain tendencies.
No, and it's crazy because a past relationship of mine, the man. Did some things to my children and other people's children, and people that are manipulative like that or carrying on those, I'll call them demons because that's what I believe. The people that are carrying those demons do not want to be exposed. All people have a nasty, ugly, dirty side to them that they don't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
And they think that nobody will love them if they know. I was lucky enough to be in my faith at the time and praying that if this wasn't a relationship that was for me, that I needed God to expose whatever was wrong, and He did very quickly. And I tried to stay after the confession, and it just was not
You okay? You good?
Yeah, I'm totally fine because it opened up a lot of doors in my life, and I realized a lot about myself.
Would you ever want to resort to violence when you know that someone has done something? Because like I'm this way. I don't believe in violence typically, but what I say is if you do something to one of my kids, fuck you. It's all. It's like I will whatever. Like if somebody did touch one of my daughters, I have daughters, and if someone touched one of my daughters, they don't need the police. They don't need the courts. They don't need the.
There's not a day that I wake up in which I don't struggle with wanting to take his life.
But you have the Christianity, and you have to balance that back and forth.
So if I have a moment for a testimony here, there was a day that I attempted. I called up a homeboy. I said, hey, I need that piece. He said, are you sure? You could go to prison for life.
You went up?
And
you went there?
Yes, I
She
did.
said, I need the piece.
And he said, are you sure? And I said, I'm 100% sure. I had convinced myself spiritually.
But the Bible says
that
eye for an eye. So
I had convinced myself spiritually that it was my job to take this man out so that he could not hurt other children, and I convinced myself, okay? I was fully convinced. I was ready. I put my keys in the ignition to my car, went click.
The car didn't start.
No, my kids' dance coach pulled up directly in front of my
That's
car.
good.
Wow.
I
Because
could not
vengeance
go
is mine,
anywhere.
saith the Lord.
He jumped out of his car and he started praying for me, and when I asked him why later, he said he was in church at Bible study, and he heard this voice that said, go to Heather's now.
Wow.
And he was like, what? And he heard it again, closed his Bible, and came straight to me. And if it wasn't for him in that moment listening to God, I would be sitting in prison right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well,
I'm gonna make sure it's the one real quick.
okay. I believe. That's all I'm going to say is I believe. Mom and Dad both are ministers. Both of them are. But me personally, it's more of a personal control thing. Because there are always going to be things that are going to happen to you and your loved ones and everything in your life that's going to make you want to induce violence. It's the American way. It's the American way. But and trust me, I understand the whole feeling of someone doing things to your children and this and this and this. But then when that person is a family member and you have to see this person.
Fuck that. I'm sorry.
And you have to see this person.
I'm sorry.
You have to.
Fuck that.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But you have to have a measure.
There's certain things I believe.
Self-control.
There's certain levels and lines that once
Because
those lines are crossed.
But but this is what I thought about it is that okay. So yes, one predator slipped through the cracks, and that happened. Okay, so now if I go ahead and I just take out this predator,
you're gone from your kids.
then I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's going to be no one else to protect them from the rest of the predators.
But that person that did that and violated your children is going to be in prison. He's going to have a computer. He's going to have a bed. He's going to have 3 meals a day.
Not necessarily, because most of these predators are still predators.
They're
They're
going to
not
still be
in
able to play
jail.
basketball and play this, and they get phone calls. Your child is changed forever. If that happens, they can't get that back. Those memories,
Here's my point on that, though. Let's go back to the school shooting issues that we're talking about, okay? If you want to look at facts, more than 80% of children in this country are actively being sexually abused. Okay? They don't know how to...
I would dispute that. I would.
We
I'm
can
not
check
saying you're
facts
wrong.
later, but it's...
I think that number sounds a little high.
It's really not. I work with a nonprofit organization who deals with human trafficking in children these ages, and a lot of the kids who run away, it was because somebody close to them or in their family or a babysitter did something to them, and they were too afraid to go forward and tell a family member.
I absolutely listen. I don't want it to come across like I'm downplaying. It's not like it's not an issue, and but I'm just saying that's a large number.
That's not my point. What my point is, if we are a society in which we go for blood, let's say that number is realistic, okay? Let's say that's real. Let's say 50% of those 80% of fathers go and take the law into their own hands. And now they're taking the lives of these men who have hurt their children. What are we teaching our kids? What are we teaching our kids? We're teaching our kids to go to school and blow the heads off of people who've done them wrong.
And also, to back up your point, what I will say is you're right, because there's going to be times where there's going to be false accusations where a kid maybe mentally have issues or whatever, and they may make up stories and go tell their dad somebody did something that didn't happen. And if you go so I'm not saying that that's necessarily, I'm talking about a situation where if it's verified, I verified this happened, they did this, I know it, I got proof, this and that. I'm saying that, not speculation, not going out here like guns blazing, just looking for, on a wild goose chase or whatever. I'm not going to say that. Anyway, we got to move this along real quick. That's a great topic. We can go on for this. I want to hit a bunch of other things. Yeah. Okay. I want to know this. Okay. Again, this is, again, we keep it real here. That's the topic of the show. That's the name of the show. We keep it real. There's no lies, no punches. If people come on here, they got to be honest. They got to be straight up about everything. So that's what we do. That's why it's interesting. That's why this is going to be a great, great show. Have you ever cheated in a relationship? And if so, why?
Yes.
Okay. Why'd you do it?
Because I wanted to.
Okay. That's a nice, simple, concise.
I'm not gonna blame. Oh, she didn't do this or that or that. It was just I wanted to.
Was there something?
Because ultimately, it boils down to this. It boils down to choice. You can say and whatever, and you can use whatever excuse you want to use. Oh, well, this person wasn't giving me what I wanted to, and and they left me emotionally hanging, or they weren't there for me, and Well, then, when you commit to a relationship, then, because I've been married twice, so I know, what your marriage vow means. It means for better or worse, rich or poor, You're committing yourself to that person, and if you're not ready to commit yourself to that type of relationship, then just don't do it. Just be honest.
Amen to that.
Just be honest about it, and just tell them, like, hey, look, I like you. I have love for you. I love spending time with you. I like having sex with you. Things are good, and this, and this. But I can't necessarily.
Did you get caught?
No.
You didn't get caught?
No, you telling yourself, player.
Right.
You don't never get caught.
How long was you doing it? Okay, listen, I want to delve into this because, all right, when you cheated on somebody, was your sex...
But it depends.
No, hold on. When you cheated on somebody, was your sex life with the person that you cheated on, was it good and you still cheated? Or are you saying like the sex life was...
Well, I'll just say this, okay? Before I got married the second time, I let it be known, and I told her, like, hey, I can't promise you that I'm not going to not have sex with anyone else. I was like, I can't promise you that.
You told somebody that?
Yeah. I said, yeah.
And what'd she say?
Let's get married. But this is what I told her. I said, look, if you want to have...
Was she drinking?
No. She wasn't high. She wasn't nothing. We were stone cold sober. But I was being stone cold honest.
Were y'all swingers?
No. No. That's another conversation. No. I've never been a selfish one.
I need to hear some more about this.
I've never been a selfish one.
You tell somebody that and they say, let's get married?
Yeah, because I told her. I said, look.
Well, she must have been having that kind of lifestyle.
Well, no, this is the thing. Well, I was living with my baby's mama when I met her.
Oh.
And she had another dude when I first met her. But there was something about her.
That sounded like some West Virginia type.
That I just, and we hooked up. And I told her, I said, look, if you want to have a home together and have a home where we can raise our children and go on family vacations and, go on family vacations and do this, and provide a good life for our children, I can promise you that we can do that.
I want to know where you find it, because I want to find a girl like that.
But if you want me to promise you that I'm never going to have sex with nobody else but you the rest of my life, I was like, I cannot, and I am not willing to promise you that.
Have you cheated, and why? If so.
Unfortunately, I have cheated in almost all of my relationships except 3 of them.
Well, you cheated, or someone else cheated?
I cheated.
Okay.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was not a big deal. Like I didn't look at sex to be like.
But to me,
a big deal.
It's a definition. What's your definition of cheating? Because like I always say, like the emotional, to me, like the physical, the act of just having sex, like that doesn't bother me.
I think my idea of cheating now is different than it was back then.
But mine is the emotional.
Why do you cheat though? Okay, would you cheat because
well, it depends on what part of life are you asking me about.
The sex wasn't good. The emotional attachment thing wasn't good. Like you didn't feel like there was long-term potential in the relationship. Like why did
every single time I have cheated is because I have not been right with myself.
Right.
Okay, no, but that's not a good answer. See,
it is.
It's the exact answer.
Because cheating is a
I was unhappy with the sex. I was unhappy with the not feeling like I got enough attention.
You didn't ask him like, let's try new things.
Did it matter? If I did tell him it didn't matter, they gave me less.
Let's spice things up. You didn't say that, like give you lingerie or nothing like that.
No.
No, but listen, Jeff. If you're being honest with yourself. Okay, because honestly,
I cheated.
But see,
hold up. Let me hold.
But why'd you cheat then?
I cheated. I want to be clear. Like I'm not coming at y'all like saying like I'm saying like I'm just trying to find why y'all's reasons for why y'all did it. For me, when I did, I'm being completely honest. I cheated for some ego reasons. I cheated because of okay, this is real shit. Like I don't lie about nothing. You ask me a question, I answer the question. Okay, I cheated because of this. I grew up considered by a lot of my friends to be like suburb black boy. My dad had a good job, worked for the railroad, made good money. We lived in the Highlands. Whatever this is that. I tried to live up to an image and said, you know, my hood friends are doing this and they're playing girls. And they're doing this. They're doing this. They're doing that. They got 5 different girls they're talking to. You know, whatever this is that. I felt like I needed to live up to that, and so. I was out there living out of character. I was doing stuff with women, man, that wasn't even me, like, doing that. Like, I was playing girls and doing all this crazy stuff and never being faithful and all that shit. And, like, real talk, like, I was trying to just be cool. I was hanging with my boys. I'm not going to blast them and put their names out there, but I was hanging with them, and they're doing all this. And I was like, if I don't do this, they're going to look at me like, oh, he's bougie, he's this, he's trying to be white, he's this, and that. So I did that. And the next thing I knew, it just was like a lifestyle. I found myself in that, and I was like, this is real. Like, okay, so again, I tell you guys all the time about being honest and being straight up and this and that. I was a virgin, and when I graduated high school, I was a virgin. Never had sex. Messed around with girls. I'd done stuff, kissing, fingering, whatever. I was a virgin. 2 days after high school, I got my own apartment. I took all my graduation money. I got like $3,000 for my whole family. And me and my boy moved out and got an apartment. By the end of that summer, I'd had sex with 35 different women.
How many?
35.
So by the end of the summer, so that's like 3 months?
In that summer.
Okay. About 1 every 3 days.
Yeah. Okay. Because our house was party central. We had our own place, and girls and guys, people just came there and partied every single night. It wasn't even like I was looking for it. It was just by default. I had a cousin that was older that would buy alcohol for us, and so our house was just a party spot. So girls would pass out and drink there. So it just fell into our lap. So I went from being a virgin to 90 days later having sex with 35 different women. That wasn't a choice. It was just, it was what it was. And then so for me, that just became my lifestyle for like 5 years. I just got used to that. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you party on Friday, Saturday nights, girls come over, get drunk, pass out, you hook up with some girl, and then you go to the bar the next night and you do the same thing.
And see, that was what I meant by what part of life are you asking me about? Because back then it was party life. Like, I did things that most people don't know I did. I mean, people who've known me 20 years ago.
Were you afraid?
I was running my own companies, let's just say that. So
I'm gonna just stay out of this because I'm gonna just let it be known.
What does that mean? I don't know.
We just went wild child back in the day, and we made money at it. You know what I'm saying?
I like her. She's keeping it real.
But that's what I'm saying.
She's keeping it real.
That back in the day was a lifestyle for me. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I wasn't into the life spiritually like I am now. I wasn't. You know, I knew who God was. I went to church. I'd been sprinkled with the water and all those things, but my life had not been changed yet.
Why'd you, okay, so spiritually, okay, this is something else I want to talk about because I don't know how much time we got left. I think we got like, how are y'all sitting on time? Both of you. Like how much time before you got to go?
I'm good.
Okay. I think we got like 30 more minutes left on the memory card.
Okay, good.
Okay, but I want to know this. Because I'm glad you brought that up. Because religion and spiritual and all that stuff. Okay, something else. I grew up in church. I used to have to go to church so fucking much. Oh my God, I used to hate church.
I did it all the
I had to
time.
go to Sunday school, Bible study, choir practice. Oh my God, we
Sunday
fucking
night
lived
service, Wednesday night service,
We lived
Friday
in
night,
church.
all night.
young people service,
And
all
I,
that.
yeah, and I lived in church. I loved church. We was in all the Christmas plays and all that kind of crazy stuff. And then for me, what happened is 9/11 happened, and I started questioning my faith. Like at that time, I was watching. I'll never forget, man. And I'm sorry, we keep it real here. So I was on the toilet when I heard about 9/11. I was on the toilet. Someone started banging on the door and go, "Hey, are you watching the news?" I'm like, "How am I watching the news? I'm on the fucking toilet."
Right.
But they were saying, "Are you watching the news?" Long story short, they're like, "You got to get out of here. You got to, whatever. Come out here." I went out there. I saw the people on the towers, on the towers, jumping. And I remember standing there, and I was crying. I was standing there. I was like just sitting there crying, like tears were streaming down my eyes. I saw this one image of this lady. She grabbed her purse and she just stepped off the edge because the building was on fire and burning. So she was either like, "I'm gonna either burn up or I'm gonna jump."
Taking my chances.
And she jumped. And I remember, first of all, this is crazy. This is like going off topic a little bit because this Steel Reserve's kicking in, but
I can't fool with the 211s.
but I was like, first of all, why is she worried about her purse? She clutched her purse real tight. And I said, oh, she wants her ID. So when her body's found, they'll know who she is. And then that just made me start crying even more. And I sat there and I said, man, come on. There cannot be a God. Because if there's a God, why would he let his children who love and believe in him suffer that kind of a fate where they have to go through that, where they have to pick either burning up in a fire. And then I started thinking about the people that were in the planes that were going 700 miles per hour and then charged into the towers, and they're sitting there watching, knowing what's getting ready to happen. Or the ones that were plunging into the ground where the hijackers tried to fight them, and they tried to, and the plane like just plunged into the ground. And I'm thinking, there were 400 people on that plane plunging towards Earth, knowing they're about to die. How would, if there's a God, how does he let that happen? How? And so that made me lose my faith. And I said, man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to interject.
Yeah, and then
into
you
this
go first. 'Cause I know this is a big topic for you.
As someone who comes from a family of deeply religious people and ministers and pastors, and I've got cousins and uncles and aunts and mom and dad and this and this. And they always know, even with me, like there are some things that I do believe in the Bible. There's some things I don't believe in the Bible. There's some things I believe in the Quran. There's some things I don't believe in the Quran. I do believe that there is something bigger than all of us in this, and I don't know what it is. I've almost kind of given up to the point where I try to figure it out. Stop trying to figure it out. But I do. There's one. Since we're on this topic, I'm going to say that this is my favorite book, the favorite scripture, whatever you want to say. I know a lot of people in church, they get caught up in Acts 2:38, you know, when he says, Peter then said unto them, repent and be baptized, da-da-da-da-da. Well, my favorite scripture is Acts 2:40, where it says, with these and many other words did he say unto them, save yourself from this untoward generation. So the Bible puts it on you to save yourself. Now whatever you got to do for you, that's what you got to do. But you got to save yourself.
Shit.
Yeah.
Can't nobody else save you. Your pastor can't save you. Your parents, your minister, your whoever. Ultimately it's on you. You got to save yourself. So that's just how I feel about that, and that's just how I feel about any religion. Whatever, because ultimately the ultimate goal of any religion is to get you to be the best person that you understand and that you know how to be.
I'm going to let you jump in there now.
Okay, so I'm glad that you brought up the 9/11 thing.
I was in LCF, smoking weed.
I was I was actually working
Keeping it real.
at a motel at 56
Watching-
and Cornhusker.
Watching the planes land, like, oh wait.
Yep, it
Well,
was,
the first
it was
one,
on the
though,
news
when
channel.
you saw the first plane, didn't you say, "Oh, this is an accident, an accident"?
No, my heart sunk.
Didn't you just say like pilot error or something like
No.
the first one?
Nope.
You didn't. You knew like right away.
I had like I said, I come from a very heavy military family background. My uncle's a preacher too.
Military religion, it's all the
So
same.
yeah, so they're
okay.
very
It's all the
they're
same.
very strict
Yeah,
into it.
yeah.
So you knew.
We had a feeling something was coming.
Yeah, 'cause you just don't
When I was
file.
a kid,
Yeah.
I was told some things that I shouldn't have been told. And now that I'm grown, most of those things that I shouldn't have been told are out now happening. So nothing's really a big surprise to me anymore. But I will tell you this: when
Scoot over a little bit more.
in
Over this.
2011, or not 2011, but when I was before I got pregnant with my kids, their father, my son's father, he claimed to be a Muslim, and his behavior was so.
Was he black?
Yes, he was so. It was so ugly and disgusting that it made me feel like if this is what he claims to be, then they're all like this. So
All
and it was
blacks or all Muslims?
Muslims.
Oh,
Okay, so in my brain, I'm thinking, I was raised in a very Christian. My mom was Catholic. My dad's family was like Methodist and whatever, and just all kinds of different backgrounds. But in that moment, I was seeking my own spirituality, and then for him to tell me that he was a Muslim, but he was abusive, he was foul, he was constantly sleeping around with women, it was just an ugly, nasty situation.
Did he make you cover yourself up? Like you had to cover your face?
Nobody would talk about things like that or talk down on me if I wore certain outfits and I wasn't going to be around him, or if he knew somebody else was supposed to be seeing me. I know right now that currently one of the girls that he recently had kids with, he was making her do that. He did make her cover. She told me things that,
So you're considered beneath them, right, in the Muslim culture?
Yeah, just he used to tell me things like his purpose was to destroy the white race, or that's why he would do the things that he did to me, or just really ugly, nasty things. So in that process, I began to just start an assumption that they were all like that. And it didn't set with my spirit. And I was in college at the time. So what I did is I went and I got the first translation of the Holy Bible. I went and got the Holy Quran. I got as many biblical, scriptural pieces of history that I could find. And what I did was for 3 or 4 days, I didn't do anything but drink water and sit there with a highlighter and sticky notes. And I went through each of them. And when I found a common theme, it made sense to me. The problem was that I found the most truth in the scriptures. But it wasn't my scriptures of today. It was before it's been
but I'm okay.
Flipped and flipped and
I
flipped.
want to simplify this a little bit. Okay, so like that part, that's deep. Like what you're saying, like that. Okay, what I mean is this. Okay, on a simple basis, I look at the whole thing and a theory of God and religion. I look at it like this. I know this is going to upset a lot of people, and it's cool, it's whatever. Right? But I look at it like, okay, the thought of there being an all-knowing, all-seeing, almighty being up there that's watching my moves and watching what I do and watching what I say, that's borders on the same thing of Santa Claus for me.
Yeah, some people say insanity.
And I go, really? You think there's a guy up there? Because here's how I look at it. I look at it and I say, if there's a devil and there's a God, and you look at Earth and you look at what's happening, and you look at the wars and the suicide bombers and the school shootings and the cancer and this and that, it sure looks to me like the devil's kicking God's ass. It looks, if you look at the world and what's going on, it looks like the devil's kicking God's ass.
But he's not, though.
You guys, what
Yeah.
do you think?
But he's not, though. Because no matter how much bad there is in the world, I guess, because people can call me a liberal tree hugger. I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck what they call me.
Trees are good.
But this is what I always believe. I always believe that no matter what, that love will always triumph over hate, and light will always triumph over darkness.